Hi, my name is Chelisea, and I'm with UW-Stout's Office of Research and Sponsored Programs. This video is part of ORSP's FAC 5 series that answers students' questions about doing research as part of their education at UW-Stout. Joining me is Dr. Michael Mensink, Associate Professor in the Psychology Department and Chair of the Institutional Review Board for the Protection of Human Subjects and Research at UW-Stout, otherwise known as IRB. Welcome, Dr. Mike.
Hi there. Glad to be with you. I'm Dr. Mike, and my pronouns are he, him.
Thanks. Today, we're going to address a common question that students have when it comes to doing research that involves people, namely, how does the IRB process work? But before we get to the how, I thought we'd start with the what. So Dr. Mike, can you start out by just explaining what the IRB is exactly and why it's important?
Sure. So the IRB is a board of researchers from all different departments at UW-Stout, and we review research before it takes place that involves people to make sure it's done ethically and that participants are treated well and protected during the study. It's important because it is required by federal law and regulations because we receive public funds. Any project that involves people where data is collected from them, we just have other reviewers look at it to make sure it's done well.
Okay. So now that we have the what, how do students go about getting IRB approval? What's the process?
Right. So the first step is to have a project ready to go and be designed with your advisor or your classroom faculty member. And then you go to our SharePoint site and you download the IRB application and you fill that out. And that will ask for information about the study and who's involved with it and a few other type of questions. And then you'll need to also submit a consent form along with that application. So a consent form is a document that gives information about your study to participants and asks them explicitly if they're willing to participate in the study or not. So, and then once that's sent in, then we'll review it and we'll send you a letter back saying it's approved you're approved to collect data.
So getting into a little bit more of the detail, what kind of information do students need in order to complete that protocol form that they submit?
Yeah, so we need to know what type of project it is. So what type of method will be used, if it'll be a survey or an experiment in a lab or an interview. We need to know that. We need to know a little bit about funding, if it's got any funding or not, who the participants will be, especially if they will be members of a protected class, participants that includes minors, so participants who might be under the age of 18, prisoners or pregnant women, and there's a few other categories, but we need to know a little bit about who you'll be asking to participate in the study, a little bit about the methods and how you collect consent, and then how you protect data when it's collected. So.
And will students have to do any other sort of training before they submit to IRB?
Yes, we have a human subjects training course that you need to complete before you can submit an IRB, and that's linked on our SharePoint page.
So moving on to the next stage then, after students submit to IRB, how quickly do they typically hear back?
You'll hear back from us within 10 days. We'll either approve your project or ask for more information and then re-review it, but you'll hear something from us within 10 days.
That's quick. And when can students start collecting data then?
We'll send an approval letter once your IRB application is approved, and it'll tell you right on there that you're now ready to collect data. So.
Okay, but you have to wait for that approval.
That's right. Yep. Don't collect any data before you get that letter.
Okay. One final question. What should students know about collecting data right now during the COVID-19 pandemic?
Yeah, we have a link on our website that's got our updated recommendations and requirements for collecting data in person during COVID-19. If you're on UW-Stout campus, you have to follow all the policies that are in effect here at the UW campus. If you're off campus, you need to follow policies that are in effect at those particular locations. Those are kind of our only requirements, and then we have some recommendations there as well about collecting data safely in person on campus. So please review that link and you get all the important information on that.
Well, speaking of, I hope that students will check out the sites both for IRB and ORSP to learn more. And I want to thank you, Dr. Mike, and we hope to hear from all of you soon. Thanks.
Thank you.